Hey bike fam, today I'm going to be replacing my GT BMX stem, my big bike, with this Black Ops top load stem. I thought it looked cooler, and I think it'll make my pad right here just stretch out a little bit, make it look more boxy, make it look a little bit more retro, make it look cooler. And in that process, I'm going to be installing this cap. I think it looks cool because it matches the font of the GT bikes on the side of my BMX, so I think it'll look cool. Alright, so what you want to do is go from corner to corner so you don't warp the handlebar. And now what you want to do, you want to let it tip back a little bit. Pop this off. Five. Okay, so 6. And the 5 on the sides. Be careful so you don't whack your handlebars. Both sides. Now that we got the sides loosened up, we're going to be taking off the front. Now, if you're changing the handlebars, you're just going to want to take the brakes and the grips off and all that. It just makes it easier. I'm just gonna let this hang like that so it doesn't break itself. Now it's much easier to get to the sides. To the 5, that's a 6. So a mistake people get wrong is they will tighten the top a lot. This is not the main thing that holds together, even though it looks like it. It's more of a backup. So there's the stem for you. Now we're gonna open up this new one, put it on, see if I like it. Number one thing is this is much heavier. Like, it's kind of like, I think it's like 2.5 times heavier than this one, just by a guesstimation. But it does not look bad. So let's put it on. So we're going to be putting that on, and like I said, this cap. Okay, looks like I'm going to remove the spacer. There you go, I needed another spacer just because, as you can tell just by the looks of it, this one is much, not much, but a good amount taller. There's a side view. So a little bit taller. And so we're going to need to add another spacer for this Black Ops stem. So number one, set this on. Like that. Another thing, this is much smaller. The bolt comparison, this one is much smaller. This one is a 5 and this one's a 4. So that's something you might want to look out for if you don't have a 4. You don't want to crank it down just enough so it's snug. Just a minute for a second. That's how I want it. And the moment it gives like a little bit of resistance, like you can't just twist it easy, that's when it's done. So now, make sure it's straight before we fully tighten it. There you go. Now, we're going to take these off. These bolts are also a little bit longer, which makes sense because it's the top load. They're the same size, just a little bit longer. Since we're just taking it off, we don't have to worry about corner to corner because we don't have the stem on yet. We're not going to be warping anything. Plus, these also weren't very tight as well, so you can't even warp the stem with this. Alright. Now that the handlebars are on, I'm going to go corner to corner, as well as going corner to corner. It's going to make it a little bit easier, because now this is not going to fall out. I think this is all. All we're doing here is getting it on. Tip it back. Tighten these a little bit more. Don't tighten it all the way because we have not yet adjusted them. Now, get on. Out here seems correct. There. Doesn't matter though, because after we get this all the way on, we can adjust it all we want. Right here feels right for now. Now we're gonna crank this down. Now we're going to ensure that the tire is straight. Sharing ratio as follows. And now we can crank down the sides on the stem. There we go. I think it looks much better than the GT one. So I think it looks great. Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing. Only if you're trying to get the lightest possible bike, which I doubt if it's a cruiser, you probably wouldn't want to add such a heavy stem. But since this is just my cruiser, my go-round bike, I don't care much. It's looking sharp. Let's see how it looks with the pad on it.
Yeah, I dig that. That looks super good.
Yeah.
I like that top cap too.
Yeah. It was nicer because I used to have to be kind of tilted forward just a tad bit, but it just feels like natural back here.
A little bit better,
now.
huh?
It's definitely risen it up here.
Yeah, well, it's like, I think the measurements are it's right about 1 inch higher than factory, and it pushes it out, and because the angle goes up too,
This goes
it's
up.
a little. I mean, you know.
See, back here it's shorter, but up here it's higher.
Well, yeah, it puts the bars apart. Well, that's cool. I'll dig it. I dig it. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Right on.
Right on.